So, during the Second World War, many artists were lucky enough to flee Germany on time. Many of them settled and taught their design concepts here in the US, bringing a revolutionary concept that would impact society not only in an expressionistic form but also in an industrial. After listening to my speech, the audience will gain a fair amount of knowledge about Bauhaus. And Bauhaus was a design school in Germany. It was also a major movement in design in the 20th century. According to Ned Kramer, the author of the Bauhaus effect, this particular brand of imperial modernism might have never developed had it not been for the great Bauhaus migration of the 1930s. And throughout my speech, I'm going to be talking about the beginnings of Bauhaus, its teaching and design concepts, and the impact of Bauhaus in today's world design. To begin, we shall talk about the word Bauhaus. And Bauhaus is conformed by two German words. The first part, Bau, comes from the word bauen, which means to build, and Haus means also house in German and English. So in translation, would read as building house or house building. And the Bauhaus was established in 1919 in Weimar, Germany, and it was headed by an architect named Walter Gropius. He headed the school up until 1928. The school had several changes in its locations. Those included Dessau and Berlin. And finally, in 1933, the school was shut down by the Nazis. And this was really not a surprise because from the beginning, the government always opposed of the concepts that were learned through the Bauhaus. So moving on to my next concept, which is the teaching and design concepts of the Bauhaus. And first of all, the Bauhaus was a very broad school. It taught a lot of different types of design, including architectural design, interior design, furniture design. And its primary concept was an expressionistic one, meaning to design within the feelings, the emotions, the spiritual. Then the concept was later changed to design with the idea of mass production and consumption. And this is what made the Bauhaus very controversial because up until that point, that had never been done before. And so according to the Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia 6th edition, the teaching plan consisted on functional craftsmanship in every field with a concentration on the industrial problems of mechanical mass production. And like I said, this type of concept was very controversial, and that was the main reason why the Bauhaus kept moving to place because the government tried to do anything to shut it down. One concept that makes the Bauhaus a very unique design is the use of color combination and geometric shapes. And students at the Bauhaus were to design elements into simple geometric shapes. And at first, the design wasn't very popular because, back then, design was very detailed. One example would be the cathedrals. You can see a lot of ornaments and details. But now the Bauhaus made everything very simple, very organic looking. And moving on to my next point, which is the effect of Bauhaus in today's world of design. And when we think about the architectural design and Bauhaus, I don't know if you guys have noticed, there are a lot of new buildings around the city, and they all look very modern. And that's one reason is because they're very flat and simple. And I have one example here. On this side, we have a design of the Bauhaus, drawing. And on this side, we have a new apartment building. It looks very modern. I don't know if you guys can see the similarities on the color combination, and then it's pretty much filled by a lot of squares. So like I said, this is very a nice example of modern design that uses the Bauhaus concept. Another way to spot the Bauhaus concept is on furniture. And again, we have the same drawing and the sofa that looks very, very modern. The similarities, the color combination, and I think it kind of looks a lot like this shape. I don't know if you guys can see that. And, simple and elegant looking furniture are considered as good modern design. And, it's funny because nowadays, design, everything that we buy is pretty much designed with the idea of mass consumption and production. So we're pretty much exposed to the Bauhaus effect, unconsciously. And I think after, knowing a little bit about Bauhaus, now we can, spot it in the streets or in stuff we buy. So now I've talked about the beginnings of Bauhaus, its teaching and designing concepts, and the effect of Bauhaus in today's world of design. So I hope next time you guys see something modern, you think about the Bauhaus and not just the font or the band name Bauhaus. Thank you.